I'm letting food companies control everything I eat for the next week.
Only 99 waffles left.
Today is day number 1.
For the next 7 days, I'm not just gonna find out how many of the world's biggest food companies will reply to my DMs.
Should my next meal be 200 or 300 Oreos?
I'm gonna see for myself which ones will challenge a guy like me to eat insane meals.
Reply with a pizza emoji and I'll eat every DiGiorno pizza my grocery store has in stock.
I can tell you, these companies read these messages.
Pick a number between 10 and 20. Whatever you choose will be how many bowls of your cereal I gotta eat.
Because I did a challenge like this earlier this year with fast food companies, and while I got some pretty big meals,
I once ate a 25,000 calorie bowl of Cheetos, and it was the most marvelous experience of my life. Double tap this message and I'll do it again.
just based on how many calories were in the first meal of this week's challenge, I had a feeling that the next 7 days were gonna be even crazier.
How many cans do you think I should eat? Hope you'll reply to this. I'm a huge fan of your
Let's get cracking. To fully complete this challenge, I have to follow 3 important rules. Rule number 1, I can only eat what food companies tell me I can eat. Rule number 2 is where it's gonna get interesting, because I have to finish each challenge I get.
There's so many nuts. Oh.
That's what she said.
On the same day I get it. If I fail to finish each food challenge or food challenges before midnight, then I have to double the next challenge I get.
Most amount of nuts eaten in one sitting. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't see that.
The final rule is the most important one,
This bowl of nuts is never ending.
because this challenge is only complete if every challenge I get is finished before the 7 days are up. Just based on how I felt only 20 minutes into the first challenge, I could tell this week was gonna get crazy.
I gotta admit, I underestimated this challenge, but fortunately the day is still young.
Had I known how much sodium I was about to get bombarded with over the next few days, I would have at least tried to enjoy this cold, sweet chocolate milk way more than I actually did.
We're back in business.
With a little less than 4 hours left until midnight, my strategy was to use the sweetness of the chocolate milk to get down the rest of the nuts.
There is 60 grams of protein in one of these cans.
And even though I felt like I just put my jaw through the workout of a lifetime, I was finally starting to see some progress.
The last thing I thought I'd be eating at the start of this week was 17,000 calories of nuts.
And only a few minutes later, I saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
I finally see the bottom.
Before this challenge, I was a lover of all nuts. Peanuts, cashews, almonds, you name it. But after the last few hours, let's just say I had a change of heart.
There's gonna be a long time before I'm gonna be able to look at another handful of nuts the same. Other than my own, of course. I just want to let you guys know something very important. Do not attempt anything you're about to witness me do yourselves. I am a trained professional.
Today is gonna be a very long day.
Red Baron.
What did I even send to them? Domino's challenged me to eat 10 of their pizzas a few months ago. Think I can eat 11 of yours? Today is gonna get pretty cheesy.
As soon as I got home, I realized that the hardest part of this challenge wasn't just how much pizza I was gonna have to eat, it was the time I was gonna have to eat it in. Cooking 15 frozen pizzas was gonna take a long time. But after getting halfway through, I got a completely unexpected surprise in my inbox.
Why would they want my address? Is it weird to give a company your address?
I wasn't really sure what Red Baron was gonna send me, so I sent them my P.O. Box address.
At least I'm burning some calories.
The good news is, I've been cooking pizza for so long that I'm actually hungry again. The bad news is it's almost 5 p.m. and I have 15 pizzas to eat.
Getting these pizzas down in a little under 7 hours was gonna be nearly impossible. But with how delicious the first pizza tasted, I began to think that maybe time wasn't gonna be an issue after all.
Pizza number 1 is down.
I started on the classic pepperoni pizza next.
Red Baron.
And after getting through half, I was even more confident, until I looked up and mentally processed how much pizza was actually on my table.
Comment below what your favorite pizza topping is. I'm asking that even though we all know pineapple is the worst.
I got into the Mexican style pizza next, which was my new favorite. I made sure to enjoy it as much as I could because what I had to eat next, I wasn't looking forward to. Honestly, I can tolerate burnt pizza.
Fitting this piece of burnt pizza in my mouth.
That's literally fire.
But when you're trying to eat 15 pizzas in less than half a day, There's one thing the body isn't so good at tolerating. Lactose. All the cheese from these pizzas was hitting my stomach harder than a reality check after a midnight Taco Bell run.
I've lost count how many pizzas I've eaten already. That was not good.
And with only a few hours left in the day, I knew getting another DM and having another challenge to finish would mean an instant fail.
What's also not good is it feels like World War VII is going on in my stomach right now. Just forget I just said that.
My number one priority was to get these pizzas down as quickly as possible. But the only way I was going to be able to do that was to fix whatever was going on in my stomach before it was too late.
I got to admit, it'd be very foolish for me to continue on without doing something that I should have done before the start of this challenge.
At first, this was the standard mid-food challenge grocery store trip, until I realized I was literally walking around in public with a shirt that said professional idiot on it. My only hope at finishing these pizzas was lying in the hands of this lactate.
About to find out how fast acting this is. Back in business. Hopefully. I might need some extra help.
With only a few hours left and my stomach fighting back in this battle between me and Red Baron, it was pretty clear that I was losing big time. So much so that I decided to bring some additional exasperation to the party to avoid flavor fatigue as much as possible.
I choose you.
This stick also came in quite handy too. Pizza number 6 was the deep dish pepperoni flavor. I was actually a big fan of the taste, but the one I had next, I was the least excited about for obvious reasons.
I have burned some pizzas in my life, but that, my friends and family, is absolutely hideous.
My only hope at saving this pathetic excuse for a pizza was to use some garlic ranch.
Okay, it's been saved.
As I got into pizza number 7, I was finally picking up momentum again.
Starting to see a lot more comments lately about people wanting to know how I stay in shape, and I'm gonna give you all my secret right now. Are you ready for it? This is how I cut carbs.
But unfortunately, that momentum was short-lived.
Well, everyone, I've made it halfway through. That's about the only thing I have going for me because right now I feel like I'm swimming through an ocean of pizza. Oh my goodness, there's so much pizza, man.
Once I finished pizza number 8,
Go on, pizza. Get over here.
I knew that if I had any chance at finishing these before midnight, my stomach was gonna need a timeout.
I have a little bit less than 4.5 hours until midnight, so I'm gonna take a little break and go lay on the couch like a beach wet. Oh, there's a lot of pizza in here. Get something. All right. I had a 38-inch stomach before I started this challenge. Let's see where I'm gonna be at now. There's no way.
I think I should eat 150 or 200 of your donut rolls.
Thanks, Intendmans, but I don't really believe in serving sizes.
With 6.5 pizzas left, the flavor fatigue was unbearable.
I'm gonna need something stronger.
But thanks to some wow sauce, my taste buds were once again reignited. Now it was gonna come down to stomach capacity, which I was quickly running out of.
I feel like my blood type is mozzarella. Oh, I am absolutely disgusted with myself right now. Oh, excuse me. Oh. All right, what did I say? I was at 38 inches. Wish I could say the same for something else. Can't believe I just admitted that to the world. An extra 4 inches on my waist in just 2 days. Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
This is typically where I'd go have some ice cream or do something to counteract all the salt I'd just eaten. But since one of the rules is I could only eat what companies tell me to eat, that was completely out of the question.
So much salt.
But there was one thing I could do.
Don't knock it till you've tried it, ladies and gentlemen.
After seeing honey on pizza a few times over the years,
Oh my goodness.
I couldn't think of a better opportunity to try it. The honey woke my taste buds up like a double shot of espresso on a Monday morning. But as I finished pizza number 11, my body was clearly fighting back. And with less than an hour and a half until midnight, I knew this was going to be close.
Oh man, I am not doing very well right now. Oh my goodness, I hate pizza so much right now.
After an hour of digestion time, I was going to give these last 3 pizzas everything I had.
It's time for one final push. Actually, this isn't the final push. The final push will be tomorrow morning.
Midnight was a little over 10 minutes away, and no amount of honey or sweetness was going to fix the gastrointestinal nightmare that was going on in my stomach.
I have a not so good headache right now. It's clearly your body trying to tell you to stop feeding it 17,000 pounds of pizza. Like, what are you thinking, Eric?
I was able to slowly work my way through pizza number 11, but unfortunately the possibility of failure was now becoming a reality. When the one pizza I was in love with only a few hours ago tasted like sadness wrapped in melted cheese, I knew that this was officially over.
Well, everyone, it is 12 o'clock midnight, and I failed to finish all of the pizzas, which means the next challenge I get, I have to double.
At this point, it felt like I'd ingested about 20 days worth of salt.
I have nothing else to say. I'm completely disgusted with myself.
Which is why when I saw what challenge popped up next,
Dear Skippy, huge fan. How many jars do you think I can eat?
I wasn't very happy. But what showed up later took me by complete surprise. For the second time in a row, I was gonna be getting something from a company.
Choose my next snack. Should I eat 50 or 100 Hot Pockets?
Red Baron's message from the day before was a bit more vague, and I wasn't quite sure if they were gonna send me food or something else. The message I got from Hot Pockets, however, seemed a little bit different.
Sounds good. Here's my address.
Since it was pretty clear that Hot Pockets was gonna be sending me food, I gave them my home address.
All I can say is I hope they don't send the pepperoni pizza flavor. I'm so over pizza right now.
I sat down to try and finish as much of the leftover pizza as I possibly could, but after getting through only 2 slices, the salt was already destroying me.
Ugh. You guys gotta comment down below, are you team cold pizza or are you team hot pizza? Right now, I'm team no pizza.
My goal was to finish all the leftover pizza and then move on to the next challenge of the day. But with just 1 pizza left, I decided to save it and move on to the Skippy challenge anyway.
I'm heading back to the store.
I went back to the nearest grocery store, aka Walmart. And a few minutes after walking in, I was struck by a rather pleasant looking birthday cake. This birthday cake reminded me of something that every man over 30 hates being reminded of. My birthday was just 2 weeks away. I didn't really think much of it until my gaze fell upon this marvelous wall of Pop-Tarts. And when I saw the confetti cupcake flavor, I remembered what I spent an entire morning trying to get my hands on only a few weeks before this. It all started when I opened up IG and saw that Pop-Tarts had dropped a rare and extremely limited edition item big enough to feed 73 people. How rare? Well, Pop-Tarts only made a few of them, and you could only buy one if you lived in New York, Los Angeles, or Chicago. This item is called the party pastry. Now, as someone that's pretty experienced in eating oversized foods, when I saw that a bunch of people had gotten their hands on something this epic before me, I'm not gonna lie, I felt a little left out. So I went on Pop-Tart's website and tried to order one for myself, and I saw this. I hadn't felt FOMO this bad since I was 10 years old standing in line for hours at the midnight release of the 5th Harry Potter book. I was just a few feet from the register when I heard the 3 words no young Harry Potter superfan should ever hear. We're sold out. All of my friends talked about it for the next week. Me, I plugged my ears and pretended like I didn't care. But in reality, missing out on the novelty of something new and exciting while other people around me got to experience it was pretty devastating. Since my birthday's coming up and the Pop-Tart is literally called the party pastry, maybe I could get Pop-Tart to send me one. If I was gonna find out though, I was probably gonna need to fix my first message to them.
Double tap this if you think I should eat 50 Pop-Tarts in 5 minutes. I promise I won't fail. I always finish on time.
I'd like my birthday cake to be your giant Pop-Tart. I know it's sold out. Any chance I could buy a leftover one so I can eat it in my next video? Now all that was left for me to do was wait. Oh, and eat 2 jars of Skippy.
Apparently I got a package.
I plan on grabbing the package after I was done with the next meal. It was time to get to work on the peanut butter.
Shout out to Skippy.
As soon as I took my first bite, I got some pretty crazy flashbacks of me eating that giant bowl of nuts from day 1.
Man, this is rich. Whoa.
Which is why I decided to take a little detour a few minutes later.
First jar is down.
That detour was to grab my package at the UPS store, which I figured could only be from Red Baron. After I did that, I decided it was time for a sugary beverage.
This has nothing to do with the video, everybody, but I just want to say I love that. Okay, I need to eat there sometime. All right, I just want to clarify that one of the most important rules of this challenge is that I can only eat what food companies tell me to eat. I can drink whatever I want to drink. Can I just get the sugariest drink you guys have on the menu?
After seeing this really cool license plate,
I want one of those. Oh, thank you very much.
I got this really cool looking beverage called the Summer Skies drink. This tasted like it had every kind of berry mixed inside of it.
Woo! Oh man, life is back.
Which honestly made me a little less disgusted with myself. That is until I started shoving down spoonfuls of peanut butter once again, only a few minutes later. But thankfully though, I was able to finish off the second jar of Skippy.
Second jar is down. I actually kind of lucked out there. Could have been a lot worse. All right, this was completely unexpected.
Dear Spam, how many cans would you recommend for a first-time Spam trier with my kind of appetite?
I think I know why I woke up with no DMs this morning.
It's because I have my spam filter on.
That was a really dumb joke. Time to eat some Spam. Like 10,000 calories of it.
Being fully honest, I wasn't super excited about this one, mainly because I've never had spam before.
Cheers.
But after the first bite,
That was not bad.
I was not only taken back by how tasty it was, but how salty it was.
First container of Spam is down. That was, whew.
Turns out that each container of spam has roughly 3,000 milligrams of sodium per can.
I just consumed 1.5 days worth of salt.
There was no way around it. I just had to keep eating.
Hot and spicy flavor?
And I also had to hope no other challenges showed up.
Not bad.
It was right about here where I realized that eating Spam straight up was just not gonna cut it. I was gonna need to innovate a little bit.
You know what I'm gonna do, everybody? I'm gonna innovate here with some Spam pizza.
At first, using Spam as a pizza topping sounded like a solid plan.
All right, this is not going very well.
Until I remembered that frozen pizzas have equally as much sodium as a can of Spam.
Well, the good news is our pizza's done. I feel like I just dumped a bottle of soy sauce on my tongue. I'm gonna be calling it quits for right now because
As I took my dog Apollo for a walk, I knew there was no way people just ate Spam straight out of the can. So I did some research, and I'm really glad that I did.
All right, everybody, well, I think I know of a way that's gonna make this more palatable.
Turns out that while Spam is a pre-cooked meat, the majority of people that eat Spam eat it cooked with things like eggs and rice, which unfortunately I wasn't able to do. But what I was able to do was change the consistency of it. Even though I was putting my trust in a few internet strangers, I was willing to do whatever it took to finish the Spam, because failing another challenge simply wasn't an option. The chocolate milk got me through all those salty nuts on day one, so I decided to use it as my beverage for this meal.
We all know I could use the sugar. And don't worry, all right, it's 1% slow fat. Just trying to watch my figure.
To my complete and utter surprise, this fried Spam completely blew me away.
That completely just changed the game. Wow. Wow.
I'm a big texture guy, so those crispy edges made a world of difference.
8 out of 10.
Even though the hickory smoked Spam was incredible,
Hey, this is gluten-free.
the sodium was starting to become an issue again.
7 out of 10. Get into the flavor I'm most excited about. We have the teriyaki Spam. Nine out of 10. That was sensational. Side note, I really wish I could try this. This looks really, really good. Spam and eggs. If you've had it before, let me know down below in the comments. 7 out of 10 on that one. Feels like a science experiment is going on in my stomach right now with all the sodium I've eaten.
After some digestion time on the couch, I was happy to see an empty inbox. I came back a little while later with 30 minutes left in the day to finish off the last 3 cans.
Oven roasted turkey. This tastes like turkey bacon.
After finishing both the oven roasted turkey and the regular Spam, I got to the flavor I was most curious about, the maple Spam.
Wow, this stuff's amazing.
After finishing the Spam, there was only one thing left to do before the day could officially end.
Ladies and gentlemen, after today, I consider myself an expert in Spam. And that's saying a lot coming from someone like me who has over 120,000 emails sitting in his inbox. No, I'm not kidding. Now, I saved this moment specifically for right now because I wanted to have something to look forward to. That's actually pretty sick. I got an oven mitt from Red Baron. Oh, I got a letter too? What is this? They gave me a bunch of free Red Baron's pizza slips. That is so awesome. Shout out to Red Baron for the free pizza and the oven mitt. Now, if I could only get a reply from Pop-Tart.
Well, no response from Pop-Tarts and the other 100 companies I messaged. I made the mistake of sending a bunch of companies follow-up messages when I first did this challenge a few months ago. I won't be making that same mistake this time. I really do want that Pop-Tart though. Dear Pop-Tarts, it's my birthday soon, and I want your giant Pop-Tart to be my cake. Could you send me one? I'm filling with excitement just thinking about it. I wasn't lying. I am excited. I'm also very constipated.
Hi there, can I get one tall iced coffee, please? I'm not gonna give you all full visual because this video probably wouldn't be allowed to be on YouTube if I did that, but we've been stopped up. Need a little help. Awesome, thanks so much, have a good day. And no, I don't take cream or sugar with my coffee because I like it black, just like my soul. Holy shit.
Should my breakfast be 50 or 75 Eggo waffles? Hopefully they reply. I really want some more.
Only 99 waffles left.
I ate 100 Eggos back in 2018, but trying to eat 100 again while in the middle of a 7-day eating challenge was without a doubt gonna be much harder for me. Syrup was my best friend.
I don't want anybody to panic, all right? Don't worry, the syrup is sugar-free. Come on, you didn't think I would actually use sugar-free syrup for the entire 100 waffles, did you? I dedicate this to all the beautiful people in Canada.
As far as I was concerned, this challenge was going much better than I expected.
And I swear, nothing goes better together than waffles and coffee. It's even more delicious when you're drinking it out of the world's best coffee mug. Be sure to grab an I Heart Carbs mug along with all the other I Heart Carbs merchandise. Link in bio.
Before I knew it, I was already 1/3 of the way through the massive pile of waffles. But if I was gonna make it through all 100, I was gonna need more than just maple syrup.
Speaking of syrup, I knew I was gonna have to bring some back up to the party. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I did this challenge a few years ago was not coming prepared with enough syrup, so I got some strawberry syrup.
There's nothing like strawberry syrup on an Eggo waffle. Or in my case, 15 Eggo waffles. But that was just the first combination. I had a few more tricks up my sleeve.
I also got some blueberry syrup.
Honestly, I'm more of a strawberry syrup kind of guy, but this was a nice change for my taste buds. The last combo was the sole reason I grew up 50 pounds overweight.
Oh, and I also got some Hershey syrup.
While this did taste legendary and I only had about 36 waffles left, I remembered that I could get another challenge at any time. And while it was still noon, I knew that if I got another Red Baron sized challenge and failed it, I most likely wouldn't get lucky like I did with the Skippy challenge. But after all the salt I'd eaten over the last few days, the sugar from these waffles was everything my taste buds wanted.
I have what looks like 10 waffles left. I could wait on this, but I'm not gonna take any chances. No more waffling around.
But little did I know, the sweetness was just beginning.
That was a lot of sugar.
Because the DM that showed up next took me by complete surprise.
Like this message and I'll eat every Pillsbury cookie flavor in my grocery store. Bet you won't.
Well, Pillsbury liked my DM. Now it's time for me to find out how much I'm gonna dislike myself after today is over. The good news is that Walmart didn't have a crazy amount of Pillsbury cookie flavors in stock. The bad news is that Pillsbury doesn't just sell cookies in the refrigerated section anymore. A challenge is a challenge, and I had 3 more boxes of cookies to eat. But first I had to make the refrigerated ones. And while they didn't turn out like the pizzas from a few days ago, they did come out looking rather interesting. Even though I was still sugared out from the last meal, I always get excited when I see new products from companies. So I decided that for this meal, I was gonna try something new.
I've decided to do something I've never done before in a video. I'm gonna be doing my first tier list.
To put it simply, a tier list is a ranking system. S being the highest, and F being the lowest.
Good old sugar cookies.
We all know sugar cookies are a classic. They've never been an absolute favorite of mine, so for that reason,
I put those in B tier.
I moved on to the Oreo cookies next, which I was very excited about. These rang all my bells.
Now these are good, but they definitely need some milk. Optimal dunking time, I'm definitely more of a 10-second guy now.
Even though that last statement could be taken in a completely different way, I got back to work on the rest of the Oreo cookies. But only a few minutes later, I heard the one sound I really did not want to hear.
Comment down below, are you team chewy cookie or are you team crispy cookie? There is no... It's 9 o'clock at night, man.
Should my next meal be 250 Nutter Butters or the world's tallest Nutter Butter?
While this may have seemed like just another automated reply, it was the second DM I'd gotten from a company after 7 p.m.
That was quite the scare, Nutter Butter.
Which told me that anything could show up at any time over the next 72 hours, and I had to be prepared for it.
I'm gonna put those in A tier. They would be S tier if I was actually still coherent.
To make things worse, I was experiencing the beginning stages of something we're all familiar with, a sugar crash.
There's some more cookies. If you made it up into this point in the video, drop a cookie emoji down below in the comments.
So after powering through these chocolate chip cookies, I knew what had to happen next.
Chocolate chip cookies are in S tier. Unfortunately, everybody, these are gonna have to...
After attaching myself to my couch yet again, I was happy to see an empty inbox. Now, all that was left for me to do was finish the last 3 mega-sized boxes of cookies. At this point, my taste buds were about as invested in this meal as I am in a salad at an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Funfetti Pillsbury cookies. It tastes like a birthday cake. I'm surprised I can still taste that right now.
But with only 3 boxes of cookies left, I was almost at the finish line.
These are C tier. I am so unbelievably over sugar right now.
At this point, I felt like my pancreas was now Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and it was working overtime.
It tastes like sugar at this point. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. I literally feel like I'm him right now. Pillsbury, if you'd like me to be your next spokesperson, you know where to find me. I have 1 package left, and there's no way I can continue right now. Oh. Goodness.
With how full I was at this point, I knew that failing another challenge and having to double up on another meal would make finishing this 7-day challenge impossible. After over an hour of recovery time, all that was standing in my way between victory and defeat was 1 final box of cookies.
My taste buds are so confused right now.
I gotta say, if I would have eaten these without having 100 Eggo waffles and 5,000 calories of cookies sitting in my stomach, they probably would have been my favorite.
I usually love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but right now, it's the last thing I want in my life.
I don't even want to know how much sugar
67,840 grams of sugar. Just kidding. I haven't eaten that much sugar, but it definitely feels like it. Ladies and gentlemen, I've made it past the halfway point. I only have 3 days left.
The next morning, I checked to see if Pop-Tarts had messaged back. When I saw no response, I was ready to give up. Until I realized I was gonna get a second chance to get the Mega Pop-Tart.
Holy sh**, they're doing another one?
Of all the days, it was not only today, but it was being released in less than 5 minutes. The footage you're about to see, I'm not proud of. But this is me spending the next 20 minutes trying to order the giant Pop-Tart on Pop-Tarts' website, which was about as functional as a sloth playing speed chess. After trying for another 10 minutes, I saw the one thing I was hoping I wouldn't see.
Why is this so difficult? I've looked everywhere. I've gone on eBay, I've gone on Facebook Marketplace, I've gone on every possible site to try to find this Pop-Tart so I can have an epic birthday cake this year. What you're about to see me do is pathetic, but I want a legendary birthday cake and I'm willing to do anything to get it. Just tried for 20 minutes to order one for my birthday, but the site crashed on me. Any chance I could get one left over? It'd be the best birthday present ever. Now that that's out of the way and I have no challenges in my inbox, I should probably do something productive today.
Leaving me on red? Come on, Snickers, really? I thought we were friends.
I expected a DM to show up in my inbox within the next few hours. But when the late afternoon rolled around, I was surprised to see an empty inbox. A few hours later, I checked again, and was even more surprised to see I still had nothing. But as nighttime approached, that was about to change.
I'd like to eat a ridiculous amount of your candy. How many bags should it be?
Why is this so difficult? I just want the Pop-Tart. My birthday is coming up, and I think your giant Pop-Tart would make the perfect... Forget it.
At this point, I officially gave up my quest for the party pastry. I assumed I'd have another day of no challenges, but I was very mistaken.
I'm kind of freaking out right now, everybody. Pop-Tarts didn't reply, but a company equally as big and equally as cool just did. I just can't remember what I said to them.
I ate 10,540 calories of Cinnamon Toast Crunch back in the day. Double tap this and I'll do it again. I promise, I won't flake out.
Life is like a bowl of cereal. It's great at first, until you realize you're drowning in it and there's no way out. And that was pretty sad.
To eat exactly 10,540 calories of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I had to be as precise as possible, which is why I brought out the food scale.
Oh my gosh.
I was genuinely worried that this bowl, which was actually an upside down plastic container meant for a massive cake, wasn't gonna be big enough.
Come on, baby, come on, come on, come on, come on. All right. There we go, everybody. 2,638 grams is just around 10,540 calories worth of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Whoa, God.
And since it'd been almost 2 days since my last meal, I decided it was time to make things just a bit more interesting.
If I can beat my old record and get this down in under 37 minutes, then you gotta subscribe if you're not subscribed already. If I can't finish this in under 37 minutes, then I'll automatically have to double the next challenge I get.
Once it hits 203, I'm gonna start.
I'm a big believer in breakfast being a hands-on experience. But in all seriousness, there was a reason why I was eating the cereal dry. Every single time I do giant cereal challenges, milk always tends to get everywhere.
I probably could have made this way less complicated by just eating this in separate bowls, but it definitely wouldn't have looked as cool.
After getting through the first few handfuls, it was finally time for the milk. I always enjoyed reading the back of the cereal box as a kid. But as an adult, it's a bit different.
There's 12 grams of sugar in one serving of this.
The wildest part is that this was just the beginning,
16 grams of whole grain per serving.
because the next day and a half was going to be the craziest part of the week.
11 minutes in.
All my taste buds wanted was something bitter or savory.
Man, I really wish I would have remembered to buy coffee at the store. Oh, excuse me.
And then I heard the sound I really didn't want to hear.
Should I eat 50 or 60 PB&Js for lunch?
Thanks, Sarah Lee. I'll keep that in mind.
The sugar was wrecking my taste buds. I knew I needed salt ASAP, and that's when it finally hit me.
I feel like I just dumped a bottle of soy sauce on my tongue. This is gonna look weird, everybody, but you know what? I gotta get some salt in.
I know it probably seems really weird to eat a spoonful of soy sauce, but the salt kicked my taste buds back into gear like getting hit with cold water when you thought it was warm.
All right, well, the good news is I can actually see the bottom now. The bad news is I feel like I'm no longer on planet Earth anymore.
With 2,000 calories of cereal and less than 15 minutes left, I used spoonfuls of soy sauce to get me through each sugary bite, but that was taking up valuable time.
14 minutes left.
At this point, it was less about the sugar and more about me trying to forget about how painfully soggy this giant bowl of cereal had become. But only a few minutes later, I finally saw a light at the end of the tunnel. I made sure to get every crumb I could see back in the bowl, and as soon as I saw that I only had a few minutes left, I knew that all I needed to do to finish this challenge was to pace myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, with 3 minutes to spare, that has been 10,540 calories worth of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was very sweet, and it'd be even more sweet if you subscribed, if you're not subscribed already.
I took Apollo out for a walk a few hours later, and even though I was still drunk off sugar, I was so relieved to see an empty inbox. But unfortunately for me, I was about to hear from a company that I had hoped had forgotten about me.
Well, it looks like Hot Pockets didn't forget about me. Okay, well, I guess they're definitely sending me Hot Pockets. I didn't give Red Baron my actual address, but it looks like I'm gonna have to give Hot Pockets my real address. Hopefully whoever's running the Hot Pockets account isn't a serial killer, because that wouldn't be good. My bad, that was my P.O. box. Here's my address. Looking forward to seeing what it is. Even though I'm kind of not looking forward to seeing what it is.
All I knew was that on the final day, I was going to be getting some Hot Pockets. I just hoped that if I got another challenge alongside the Hot Pockets, it would be something I could manage.
All right, everybody, it is 11:55, 5 minutes left in the day. I'm gonna check the DMs one last time.
I am so happy to see an empty inbox right now. Well, everybody, tomorrow is the final day. And all I gotta say is that if I do end up getting another brand in my inbox besides Hot Pockets, for my own sanity, I hope that it's nothing sweet.
Duncan Hines. Why can't I remember what I said to them? Looking to make a high-calorie dessert for my next eating challenge. How many boxes of your cake mix do you think should be in it?
How many calories are even in 8 boxes of cake?
20,000 calories, or something like that.
Having to finish 20,000 plus calories of cake mix, along with whatever Hot Pockets was sending me, was going to be close to impossible. And if another DM showed up, this entire week-long challenge was as good as over. But all I could do at this point was focus on the challenge in front of me. And that's when I tried to remember why I used the words high-calorie dessert, instead of just saying looking to make a high-calorie cake when DMing Duncan Hines. Until it finally hit me. This is the standard size for grocery store cupcakes now. Could these get any smaller?
Giant cupcake pan.
Yeah, but do I really need... These will probably never get used, but they are cool as...
You're about to witness me commit a crime. It's called legalized prostitution. So dumb.
I reluctantly began to make 8 mega-sized cupcakes, and that's when I got the one thing I was waiting for the entire week.
I can't believe this is happening. I finally have a reply from Pop-Tarts. Hi there, we'd like to send you as a pretty good preview, all right? Awesome. Here's my address. Looking forward to seeing what it is. Whatever they send me, obviously it's not gonna be today. I just hope it gets here before my birthday. These cupcakes are gonna be big as...
If I can get these 8 mega-sized cupcakes down before midnight tonight, then this challenge will be complete.
If I was gonna finish these cupcakes and complete this challenge, I knew I was gonna need a strategy. I was also gonna need some napkins. Unfortunately, the only strategy I could use here was to pace myself. And to use the bitterness of the coffee to get through each sugary cupcake.
That was actually pretty good. Maybe this challenge won't be so bad after all.
I instantly regretted that last statement as soon as I bit into the next cupcake. And after making it halfway through cupcake number 2, I came to the realization that I was gonna have to come up with something. Because there was no way I was finishing all 8 of these cupcakes before midnight.
The second cupcake is down.
The first thing I had to do
I'm already sugared out.
was fix the flavor fatigue.
I genuinely hope none of you try or attempt anything you've seen in these videos at home. Leave it to the trained professional idiots.
As I got into cupcake number 3, I used spoonfuls of soy sauce to fight off the flavor fatigue. Each tablespoon of soy sauce hit my taste buds about as hard as a cannonball dive at a quiet pool party. But unfortunately, I was filling up very fast.
Oh, not good.
I wasn't even anywhere near the halfway point.
I feel like my blood is made up of literal frosting right now.
As much as I didn't want to admit it, I knew there was no way I was finishing what was on my table before midnight.
I am in dire need of something very important right now, so I'm gonna go try to get that and also try not to think about the fact that I have something else that's supposed to show up today. I feel like after this week, Walmart should ban me.
I thought getting out of the house to grab some milk would help take my mind off of things. But when I got back and saw the table full of cupcakes again, and also heard this noise, I remembered there was just one thing I hadn't tried yet.
I'm about to do something downright diabolical, but desperate times call for desperate measures. Breakfast of Champions. All essential 9 minerals and vitamins. Oh, jeez, I made it up.
Well, let's try a sip, shall we? Yum.
The next cupcake on my list was the red velvet flavor, which typically I really like when I have normally functioning taste buds. At this point, the sugar was clearly affecting more than just my digestion.
Halfway through our 5th cupcake, 4th.
And to make things worse, the cupcakes sitting for as long as they had been made them really dry. But just as I was starting to get momentum back again,
I feel like it's taking me 6,000 years to eat this cupcake.
I heard the second sound that I really didn't want to hear.
It's very hard for me to swallow.
That's what she said.
This sugar is so sugary. Oh.
Here I was expecting a Hot Pockets delivery man, but what was actually on my doorstep was a Walmart bag with Hot Pockets in it. I decided to set the Hot Pockets aside and shift my focus back to the gigantic cupcakes, which were only getting harder and harder to eat.
I feel like that's my life right now. And to think that I actually thought this week would be a piece of cake.
I was only able to make it halfway through the next cupcake before I decided that enough was enough.
I can barely even sit at this table and look at these cupcakes anymore. It's...
Goodness, it's huge. I think my stomach has a vein because I have so much food in it.
I laid on my couch for about another hour before trying to sit down again for round 3, which was just a bit too soon.
I hate cupcakes so much right now.
The only thing I wanted was salt.
I'd do anything for something savory, a burger, some potato chips, or some...
And that's when it hit me.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. All I gotta do is just get the last 2 cupcakes down. Oh, shit, I got 21 minutes.
It's hard to put into words how disgustingly full I was in this moment, but I knew the only way I was going to be able to get the win was by using the Hot Pockets strategically to eat these cupcakes.
Win or lose, it is my birthday in a week. It would be the greatest birthday wish ever. If you gave the video a like. Oh my sweet goodness, literally.
Strawberry cupcakes are usually my favorite, because when I eat them I can feel slightly better about my poor life choices, knowing that there's probably less than 1% fruit inside. These could have been the best strawberry cupcakes ever made, but I still would have wanted anything else in the world at this point.
Spicy garlic chicken and bacon.
Thankfully, these Hot Pockets were magical. For the first time in days, it felt like all was right in the universe again.
That was the best thing I've ever eaten in my life.
Maybe I liked it a little too much. But with a little over 10 minutes left, I had to eat, and I had to eat quickly.
You know what's standing in my way? These 2 Hot Pockets and this absurdly large cupcake.
Every ounce of my sugar-filled soul wanted nothing to do with this cupcake. But I saved the last 2 Hot Pockets for that exact reason. With time running out, this entire week-long challenge was less than 7 minutes away from being over.
A little over 6 minutes left.
I stuffed each bite of cupcake back like I was trying to win a gold medal in questionable life choices, until all that was left was just 1 cupcake quarter and 1 Hot Pocket. I grabbed the last piece of the cupcake like I was a quarterback throwing the winning touchdown pass. And even though each bite was torture, with a little over 1 minute remaining in the entire challenge, victory was mine. But this challenge wasn't fully complete until it was midnight.
I'm assuming no more DMs are gonna come in, but I'll wait anyways.
As the clock struck midnight and I saw no more DMs had come through, the only thing running through my mind was what Pop-Tarts was gonna be sending me.
Happy birthday, Eric. Sorry we couldn't save you a party pastry. We hope you enjoy these instead. You've got to be kidding me.